Where do girls like us sit? Where do we go to numb the pain? Where is warmth or comfort found? Where do girls go to hide their shame? Where do girls go to erase the pain? Where do girls like us sit? Where is there room for us to sit? Girls whose front doors have been shut and sealed, barricaded by walls made of steel so the thief wouldn't come in to steal. Girls who've lost their innocence to grown folks who couldn't keep their hands to themselves. Girls who stared into darkness of the night, not imagining sci-fi monsters, but visualizing human faces and hands that stained their memories. Where do girls like that go? Girls who stare into the darkness, recalling the faces that left them with disorders and addictions, anxiety, and that never ever ending feeling of doom. Flowers grown, made to bloom, but they are stuck in doom. Where do girls like us sit? Where do we have room to bloom? Memories that made us long for death because they stopped believing in the possibilities of light. In which room do girls like us fit? Girls who wrestled within themselves, that fight the voices left on repeat in their heads, voices of low self-esteem that tell them they'll never be enough. Voices that silence their screams and tell them to act tough. Yeah, so where do those girls go? Girls who mask it so no one can see that they're their own worst enemy. Stuck on trying to people please. Girls who idolize images of what seem perfect. Who helplessly spend hours shaping themselves, practicing their smiles, choosing their words wisely, walking tall, but filled with scars that can't be covered up. Holding their breath, hoping someone will see behind the mask. Where do girls like that sit? Girls who swore that this time was the last time. But he labeled her mine, so afraid to let him go because he offered validation, love languages, and affirmations. But she knew her worth, but stayed anyways because he makes up for it with poisoned bouquets. And they wondered what people would say, so instead they hid, they stayed. Where do girls like that stay? Those girls who've been labeled with crimson letters, whose names are known around the block, those girls who broken little boys play with around the clock. The girls who get the dirty looks, who men grab with their deceptive hooks. Where do they go? Where do they come up for air? Girls who were made into mothers while he took off, leaving half of himself within her womb, knowing that he did not intend to build a home. Girls who walk down the altar all smiles and pretty pearls to match, only to realize there is no perfect catch. Girls who place their love and life into the hands of others. So where do they go? Before the bitterness settles, where do they belong? Where do we belong? And so subtle, the voice of God responded from deep within my core. Girls like you, girls like you, you're daughters of the Most High King. Girls like you were knit in your mother's womb. Girls like you were made to bloom. You have an eternal home. Girls like you will not be undone. There's nowhere you can go that God does not know. There's nothing you have done that God has not seen. So girls like you, you're just a queen. You have wrestled with him. You have hid within yourself, convinced your mind that you weren't worth it. But girls like you in case you didn't know, were thought before the world was the world. You were thought of, written in heaven's rooms. Girls like you who wonder what God sees in you. How could you? So eloquently he made you, created you, informed you, shaped you. And you try to cut and snip to fit the model size, the Coke bottle shape, when God has placed so much within you. You are daughters of a king. And you wonder what God sees in you? Hiding yourself away, letting the enemy come to play with you? Bearing the truths that you cannot face? Soul downcast, walking head down with disgrace? You are a daughter of a king. You are a daughter of a king. So stop practicing and pretending, thinking that God is way too far away from you. Because here you are, the daughter of a king, and he says, come out of hiding. There's no wound he cannot heal. Come out of hiding. There's no pain too great that he does not feel. There's no tear you cry that he hasn't collected. Come out of hiding. You are the daughter of a king. So there in the whisper of my spirit, and the answer was so clear, girls like us, sis, we have plenty of room. Even in the darkness, girl, you were made to bloom. Girls like us, yeah, girls like us, bruised but not broken, ashamed but not forsaken. There is so much room. Girls like us are chosen, girls like us written in the storybook of heaven, so the darkness will not consume us. The darkness cannot consume us. The trauma cannot consume us. Girls like you, your affliction is for glory. Girls like you, you have a story. So take your seat. Take your seat. You are the daughter of a king.